We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again. This is a recording.
Hello students of Eisenhower High School. It's time for yet another edition of ETV Magazine. I'm Austin Antoli.
And I'm Elisa McGaffin. Welcome back. Our first story deals with a very heated debate among the American people. We're talking about President Obama's recent executive action on gun control.
Reporter Blake Schwartz looked into the topic and here's what he found out.
Gun control is an issue that plagues today's society, but it's by far not a new topic. We spoke to a gun shop owner and others to get some insight and opinions on recent executive actions taken by the president on gun control.
I don't know that there are any new gun laws. I think the president may have attempted to issue an executive order that seems to call for reinforcing or enforcing the gun laws we already have.
President Obama's recent executive actions stated that individuals in the business of firearms must be registered. It calls to expand background checks, and it says that Congress needs to impose new gun control measures.
I don't think that he should be increasing gun control at all. I don't think there should be any tighter restrictions.
I think gun control is I think it's okay now. There are people who misuse gun control and that isn't good.
Guns don't kill people. The mentally ill do, says the National Center for Biotechnology Information. However, the magazine Mother Jones says that mental illness is not the cause of mass shootings, but that it is to blame on gun control laws.
If someone's going to go commit a crime, they're going to get a gun no matter what, whether there's restrictions or not.
Mental disorders, if someone's not right in the head, they go to a crowd and shoot up a bunch of people.
I don't know that any change in the gun laws has had any effect on our business. I don't know that talking about changing gun laws has had any effect.
I think everyone should own a gun, in my opinion.
Why does a person need a handgun? Because criminals have handguns. The law requires the seller of a firearm who is engaging in the business of selling firearms to put each potential purchaser of a firearm through a federal background check to see if they're prohibited from owning a firearm. They have to answer a series of questions, most of them yes or no, and provide some personal information so that we can then contact the National Instant Criminal Tracing Center, either by phone or online.
Everyone has their own opinion on guns. Some people are pro-gun, others are against guns. There are facts and stats for both sides. According to the Congressional Research Service, approximately 78 mass murders have been committed since 1982. Most of those being committed using legally purchased guns. This leads you to think, would fewer shootings happen if there were tighter restrictions?
Yes, I own guns and I use them for self-defense in case anyone tries to break in my house.
Typically I think people should always have a gun, at least one, in their house. If you don't have a gun, there's no way to defend yourself against people that have them.
No matter what your opinion is on gun control, there's always another side to it. For ETV Magazine, I'm Blake Schwartz.
Recently there was a meeting at the district office to find a way to bring the community together.
It was the first of many steps for this generation to try and give back to the community that they've lived in for almost all their lives.
We were working with the Goddard Student Council to make a big project where the whole community could come together.
Goddard is a young community. It's growing really fast. And I think as this next generation of millennials are moving up, they want to get involved in their own community. They just don't know how. And there's not a lot of options out there.
It gives us a chance to work to something big. Hopefully every year we'll grow.
And I think this is going to be a good opportunity for them to, put down the boundaries for a day and just, roll their sleeves up side by side and go to work to do something better.
Hey Austin, aren't they building something by the Goddard Walmart?
Yeah, I heard there's going to be an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
True, but that's not all. Reporter Cameron Bradley was at the groundbreaking and filed this report.
We're building a 145-room hotel, a family entertainment center, an auditorium, or also known as aquatic center, and 4 tournament competition ball fields, the largest of which is the championship facility, which dimension-wise will be larger than even Wichita State's X Stadium.
Destination Goddard is so far one of the biggest projects in the town's history. It is set to bring in all types of personalities for all that it has to offer.
It's intended to bring people in from all over the region for competitions, both for the ball fields and the swimming events. We'll see the name Goddard a lot on the map.
Every imaginable demographic on the community-based side. In terms of the competitive, we can go from swim clubs, local swim clubs, all the way to NCAA tournaments. With that, I mean, you're talking about a lot of people.
Oh, it's going to add jobs. It'll add revenue to our local businesses. It's just great. It's nothing, there's no downside to it.
We expect it to be a source of pride for the community. As I said, we're going to be a very good corporate citizen. We know what that means. That means we will be interacting with people, inviting them in, whether it's using the aquatic facility, baseball diamonds, you name it. We'll have all kinds of stuff going on.
Even people here at EHS will be affected by this project. There will be a high chance of a new swimming team here at the school once the project is finished.
I think this will be the first time in Goddard history that the high schools will be able to have a swim team. I think their plan is, when it's not being used for competition, that the local kids will be able to use it.
Today, our schedule is to open around April 1st of next year. So that can move, probably won't move up much, could move back a little bit, but that's the perfect time to open.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Cameron Bradley.
It always seems that teachers and kids have different points of views on just about everything.
But one topic that never seems to settle down is the discussion of sex ed.
Reporter Emma Brown talks to teens, teachers, and an administrator to find out what their points of views are on this controversial topic.
Sex ed actually falls into the group what we call human growth and development, which is taught K through 12. We cover reproduction, abstinence and family planning, self-esteem issues, and sexually transmitted infections. The more education we can give them, at least hopefully it's in the back of their mind, and it is imperative that every student has the education that they need to make wise decisions.
Sex ed has always been an interesting topic when it comes to what kids should be taught in school, and I found out that students and teachers have very different opinions on the matter.
They need to know what's good information and bad information. Always ask your teacher about that, or better yet, your counselor or your personal physician.
I think that some people tend to have more of a negative attitude towards it.
They don't teach us anything, really. Kids still have no idea what they're supposed to do.
One question that always seems to pop up is whether it's the school's job to educate their children or if parents should be having the talk with their kids.
That doesn't always happen at home, so because of that, I believe that the school is responsible for making sure that they are educated before they leave high school.
I believe it's both. Maybe the parents a little bit more, but yes, the school does need to step it up. They still need to learn it somehow, and if the school doesn't teach it, they'll never know.
We may never agree as a nation on what, when, how, and where sexual education should be taught, but the best we can do is try to cover it all. Here's some last-minute advice as teens grow up.
That every teen needs to make sure they're talking to their parents, because it can be a life-altering decision.
Listen to your parents. They've been there, they know what it's like.
Don't have sex. You'll get pregnant and die.
Wrap it before you tap it.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Emma Brown.
It seems like every time you turn on the TV, it's another story about another politician who said something that someone didn't like.
Yeah, some seniors this year are excited about turning 18 during the election year.
Reporter Jack Beardmore talked to a few students to get their opinion on the polls.
I thought probably I'd have to go outside, and if it's a windy day, my hair will be blowing up, but it is my hair. That's a good, it is my hair.
As 2016 begins, students and teachers are anxious to see who the new president will be. We asked students and teachers who they were voting for.
At this time, I really don't have a preference. I'm kind of looking at all the issues because I know there's a lot of Republican candidates, a lot of Democratic candidates right now that are all over the board as far as what the issues are and what they're visiting about.
If I had to vote tomorrow, I think I'd pick Ben Carson because he's got a lot of good points.
Ben Carson, hands down. Everything he says is really thought out. He's a really smart man. He's a brain surgeon, so he's really cool under pressure, and he seems to make a lot of wise decisions, and he doesn't just make bogus statements. like a lot of the other candidates.
I honestly have no idea. I think that I think the Democrats are too biased towards the left, and I think the Republicans are too biased towards the right. It's just hard to find a candidate that's right in the middle with the normal person.
Currently, the person that I'm favoring most would probably be Bernie Sanders. Always been kind of a liberal at heart.
So I'm going to wait and kind of look at it a little bit later on.
We wondered, based on the current polls, who they thought would win.
Well, it looks like right now Hillary Clinton is probably the front runner, at least in the Democratic Party, and you've got Ted Cruz.
Right now it looks like it could be really anyone's game, so I guess we'll find out.
There's been a lot of talk of Hillary kind of being the front runner, but I do believe that there's a lot of momentum behind Sanders and his campaign. I feel like he truly cares about the middle class of the United States, which I think is something that we really need to focus on going into the future.
I want to make sure that whoever I vote for is good for the entire country.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jack Beardmore.
Our next topic deals with education and paying teachers. With all the proposed budget cuts being talked about, our governor decided to throw out a verbal grenade suggesting possible solutions. This is a very important topic for education, so important that we as a staff wanted to take a stance on how things should be. So I took it upon myself to check out all the facts, and here's our commentary. Once again, Governor Brownback shows that he has no idea what he's talking about. He threw out yet another verbal bombshell. The topic this time was merit-based pay for teachers. First of all, this concept has been around forever. Secondly, it will never work. It is simply impossible to do this fairly, which shows that, again, Brownback doesn't have a clue and he is not a supporter of quality education. Remember, merit-based pay is paying teachers based on their merit, or how good the results are. Sounds like a good concept, right? Wait a minute, don't think that this is a good solution just yet, because there are so many problems with it. What about the different classes? For example, what would be the difference between the criteria for special ed classes and for advanced placement classes? Are they going to base the teacher pay on test scores, grades? What is it? Again, Brownback, if you want to mess around with the quality of education in Kansas, make sure that you bring something worthwhile to the table.
Don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we have Ike Sports with their segment on the winter season. Stay tuned.
My mom used to tell me I look like the night skies. With my smile so bright and freckles around my eyes, she'd hug me and say how lucky she felt. Our favorite thing was to stargaze, splayed out to watch the sun melt. 3 sisters, 2 brothers, and a lion to share. And we'd tell stories, we'd laugh at the things that the others would compare. I think about that as I lie here tonight, on the cold hard ground, with my chest getting tight. Stargazing was my favorite thing, right? But as I wait here to die, it's not such a beautiful sight. The driver was drunk, they say. I heard them, they speak, but their voices seem so far away. I was on my way from a friend's house just now. The light had turned red, but I guess she didn't know. I lie here and wonder, as a tear rolls down my cheek, if she thought what would come of her fatal blunder. She was driving drunk, they say, but now I have to die to teach her a lesson. I just hope she has learned it today.
Who's ready for some sports?
Ooh, me!
Mason, why are you in Sam's spot? Where is he?
Let's just say I gave him a vacation day.
I seriously don't even want to know.
It's for the best. Just don't ask any questions.
All right, well, let's just get this show done so I can go find Sam.
All right.
Oh, no, you don't.
No.
Get out.
I thought I locked you in the janitor's closet. How'd you get out?
It's called magic, buddy.
Whoa.
It's called an actual sports journalist.
Ooh.
Like you're like trying to replace me with Mason Madsey. Pathetic. You're pathetic, Cameron.
Oh.
You're pathetic.
Okay. So, do I even want to know what just happened?
No, you don't.
Well, it's good to have you back then, Sam Bam.
Sam the man, and thank you, Cam Bam.
Well, do you also want to know what's good to have back? Winter Sports!
First off is basketball, where the boys team has gotten off to a fantastic start. One of their best starts since the run at state 2 years ago.
They brought home big wins against Campus, Dodge City, May South, and Gardner Edgerton in the Spring Hill Tournament Championship game.
Don't forget about the girls, though. They've gotten themselves off to a somewhat rough start, but they have the talent in junior leaders Mallory Miller and Jaden Damon to make a big possible run to close the season.
Ike Sports reporter Ali Alec Berkdar takes you down to the court for this report on the boys and girls basketball team.
It's basketball season again. The boys are looking strong so far, just like they did 2 years ago when they made it to state.
I think we're getting back to those kind of teams that made it to state, but I think right now, we're getting back to being a better team and playing better defense. Of course, Matt Pyle does a tremendous job, even though he's just a junior, showing leadership and talking to guys and keeping them motivated.
When we went to state, we had a lot of talent, but I don't think that team was as close as we are now, because this year we seem to play a lot better as a team.
The team this year seems to be closer than any other team in the past.
There's a lot of guys on this team that are great teammates, which helps.
Like the closeness compared to the previous years, we all trust each other on the court and know that we can do our best.
Even with how good they're doing so far, Coach Blue still believes the team could be even better.
I think the number one thing is that we continue to get closer. It's harder to beat teams that are together and on the same page, and I think as the year goes along, that's our number one goal. The potential for this team is, as long as we stay on the same page and stay together, we can go a long ways this year.
The girls team has been playing strong, even with some ups and downs. On a team with no seniors, the juniors have had to step it up as the leaders.
You always hope to have seniors. Jaden and Mallory most of the time have kind of stepped up and done that. You always wish you had the seniors and the leadership as far as on the court.
The juniors have to step up and be leaders. Without senior, everyone has to step up and play a senior role.
Even with the team that they have this year, there's still a possibility for state. However, their sub-state is one of the toughest in 5A.
Our freshman year, when we made it to state, we had a lot more bench players, so we just had a lot more players that could have playing time, and this year we don't have as much experience.
You never know, sub-state. It kind of depends on the draw, depending on your matchups. Anything can happen.
It's going to be harder because we have a harder sub-state. We have one of the hardest sub-states.
Jaden Damon and Mallory Miller are truly some of the best basketball players to come through Eisenhower. They've been a big factor for the team this year.
She scores over 20 a game. She's just a really big leader on the team.
In my 20 years, I've never seen two girls that shoot that well.
For Ike Sports, I'm Alia Alberikdar.
Great stuff there, Alia.
Sure was.
Ah! Hey, who threw that? Mason!
Here's your coffee.
What is this?
It's something special just for you.
Cam, can we get this show done so we can fire him, please?
Oh, we're going to keep him. This is really entertaining, dude.
Whatever.
All right, well, let's get on with this. The wrestling team is looking to have their best season in school history this year with all of the talent that they have on the team.
That they are. They've won quite a few duels and placed at many of their tournaments that they've wrestled in. A lot of their talent comes from their senior, Ian Ellingson.
You did this story, didn't you, Sam?
You're right about that. I'll take you down to the mats for a look at Ellingson and the wrestling squad. EHS Wrestling has been building from the ground up since its first year, and this year they look to turn the corner, led by Ian Ellingson.
As a team leader, I feel like I need to perform to have the younger guys and guys with not as much experience come in and feel like they need to compete at the same level as I do, just leading by example.
He has a good influence on the team. He brings a lot of positive energy around, so everyone kind of feeds off of that in the room, and it kind of boosts everyone's spirits, makes them work harder.
Ian's a very experienced wrestler, so he's really good at going around and helping kids and showing them what to do. And then when something needs to be done, he just steps up and takes care of it.
Since year one, the wrestling team has continually improved, and the seniors play a key role in that improvement.
From the first year, the wrestling team had 1 year prior to me being here, but my class, the senior class, most of us seniors have been here for 4 years. And 4 years of experience is a lot in the sport of wrestling.
But the team's definitely improved from the beginning of the season from what I can tell. A lot of our freshmen have come a long way. Everyone's worked a lot harder. Everyone's starting to sharpen up a little bit now that it's coming towards the end of the season.
Wow, you're a pretty good reporter too, Sam.
Well, I mean, I try.
You know who else is a good reporter?
Mason, get out.
Your mom.
Okay, we can talk with him after the show if you really want to, Sam, but I definitely want to keep him after that your mom joke.
Well, let's get on with it then.
All right, well, the bowling team this year is led by a highly experienced Shannon Kane, a senior who won state a few years back.
That's right. Kane and the girls' teams look to win another state title while the boys look to build with some young and new athletes.
Troy Greening will take you to the lanes for the scoop on the bowling team.
The girls return all but one varsity participant from last year, while the boys are very young and have a lot of potential for the years to come. Either way, the team's confidence is high for this season.
I would really like for the girls to go back to state as a team, and I'd really like for us to win this year. I also hope that for the boys as well, but we can only control our own destiny.
I think we'll see a lot of improvement this year. We got a lot of newer guys. I think we have a good chance at winning regionals and qualifying for state.
Shannon Kane, a bowler since freshman year, has put so much into the bowling team. That hasn't changed as she goes into her senior year. Kane's legacy on the bowling team will last forever.
It would be evident that she has put in time outside of just the school competition to get better. Strengths would be her performance and her leadership.
I've been captain all 4 years. I do different things, like I start group chats for the girls, and I try to get everybody together for team bonding activities and things like that.
One is that she was a good student, she was a good person, and she was a pretty darn good bowler. We will probably remember her as a state champion as a sophomore. I think our ladies team is going to have the experience, but our guys team is going to have new participants, but then that gives us the opportunity to work with them for the next couple of years and try to build that team.
For Ike Sports, this is Trey Greening.
Man, now I'm really in the mood to bowl.
Aren't we all?
I am.
Oh, boy.
Where is he?
I don't know. Let's wrap this up before he does something stupid.
All right, well, it's always fun bringing you guys another episode of Ike Sports. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel for ETV, I Like IKE Productions, where you'll find new episodes of ETV Magazine and Ike Sports.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Ike Sports News for updates on everything on sports here at EHS.
Signing off for now, I'm Cam Van Bradley.
And I'm Sam the Man Diebler. We'll see you next time.
And I'm Mason Madzi.
Mason!
Both Ends of the Spectrum is coming up next.
Has fallen under great tragedy. An epidemic is spreading amongst our young. Sensory neural damage to the cochlea. It gets in your ears, it can never go away. There is no cure, but it can be treated. Signs and symptoms can include loss of balance, reduced attention in class with declining grades, withdrawal from daily activities and friends, ringing in your ears, and a foggy head. Once you lose your hearing, you can never get it back. It can't be cured, but it can be prevented. Listen responsibly. Turn it down.
Hiya! Welcome back to Both Ends of the Spectrum. I'm Emma Brown.
And I'm Emma Shermer. So many people are still freaking out about the new Star Wars movie that released last December.
Students and teachers had something to talk about other than school. Kids bonded with their parents as this multi-generational phenomenon hit theaters.
Greg Wright takes us around to see what the buzz is about.
Dun, 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 dun. I was really excited because I still remember the original Star Wars.
Pretty excited. Kind of grew up with those movies, so it was pretty cool. We pre-ordered tickets the day they were able to be sold. So
I was probably jumping around.
I was just really excited because I'm a fan of the old movies.
I actually am old enough to have seen the first three at the movie theater with my parents. I don't know, I kind of like the original trilogy, 4, 5, 6 are probably my favorite, just because, you have the good guy with Luke Skywalker kind of becoming into his own.
I like the old ones better as of right now, just because I'm not sure how they're going to develop the new story and everything that's going to go on with it.
I feel like the older ones were better just because like they're like classic movies now.
And we all went to see it together, and so it was a good experience for all of us.
You know, it gives me an opportunity to talk to my dad about silly things. We're talking about who Ray's dad is. That was kind of fun.
I've seen Star Wars 7 times in regular theaters and then 1 time in IMAX. Why? I don't know. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love everything relating to Star Wars. Literally, I'll watch a cartoon of Star Wars if it's Star Wars.
I thought it was pretty good. They didn't really go off the old ones. They're kind of starting their own new story. So I kind of liked that.
I thought the last one was pretty good. It kind of answered some of the questions from the first one.
For a movie in general, it was great. For a Star Wars movie, I was kind of disappointed. It wasn't as thrilling, and it didn't really relate to the first 6 movies. But
I thought it was a good movie. It really just relaunched the whole entire series because it brought a lot of new characters, but it also had the same feeling as like the older movies.
I mean, it was something that we enjoyed as a family, and I think that it gives families an opportunity to go to the movies together and enjoy a good story.
Personally, I've never gotten into Star Wars. I'm more of a Star Trek fan. Boo. Anyway, it was kind of cool to see kids and parents having fun together at theaters, having something in common for once.
Same. My dad and I bonded over Star Wars. Speaking of theaters, though, are you excited for the new musical from our theater department?
Yeah, Bye Bye Birdie. I hear it's in its early stages right now, but putting on a musical takes a lot of steps.
Vocal music teacher Gretchen Bixler told one of our reporters that things are going well so far as the cast is learning their musical numbers, choreography, and blocking.
Don't forget to check that out. The musical runs from March 31st through April 2nd.
While we're on the subject of theater, drama teacher Danielle Baxa has been on maternity leave, which has made questions pop up about how the theater department can run without her.
Yeah, isn't she the new forensics teacher this semester, though? Reporter Austin Antoldi took us down to the arts hall to take a look.
Drama and forensics teacher Mrs. Baxa has recently had a baby. While on maternity leave, her classes have gone through some changes.
It's a very, involved class, so there's not really that much to do when we don't have our teacher there, other than there's some busy work and stuff. And we went to the elementary schools and presented plays, but we haven't done nearly as much since she's been gone.
At the start of the year, it was more with her, so we did our in-class show. Once she left, we did the Christmas stories, and the Christmas stories were without her, so it was pretty hard.
Classes are really fun. We do a lot of improv games right now. I like forensics a lot. Just because they have more freedom to pick pieces and that type of thing.
It's been a blessing to be able to stay home with Ren. It was beautiful and wonderful. I felt pretty confident about being able to leave for a while, because in theater we have quite a few upperclassmen that have really stepped up and took on the leadership roles. We're still balancing the musical with forensics. Unfortunately, we won't have a spring play because of forensics, as we would not have enough time.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Austin Antoldi.
Hey, that's it for ETV Magazine number 3.
Just a few quick wrap-ups. We're having the contest again to see if you guys pay attention to our desk. Come up to Mr. Diebler's room in 225 to claim your prize of a free pop or candy of your choice.
I think that's finally it. Join us next time when we tackle the psychology behind music and teens. I'm Emma.
And I'm also Emma.
See ya!